Welcome to the astrology for February 2025. We're looking at the overview today with a light touch on your sun, moon, and rising sign at the very end of this video, where I'll give you a couple of quick bits of guidance on how to use this amazing sky in which we have Jupiter, the greater benefic, Santa Claus, and fairy godfather swooping into direct motion, delivering us the prosperity, abundance, goodness, luck, and onward that we so desire in life, as well as, of course, Mars, the god of decisions and actions, also going into direct motion in February, getting us off the fence and into action and decision-making power in the third week of February. Now, we're going to go over the whole of the sky and what things you need to look for. I'm going to show you right up front a screenshotable cheat sheet that you can keep handy on your device to check in every now and then and see what the astrology is offering you in the month of February. It's like a bit of an oasis, a bit of a calm kind of vibration in the month of February relative to the months behind us. And so in that sense, it's before the eclipse season begins again, before we move into the spring eclipses, and it's after some of the deep chaos and difficulty of November, December with Mars-Pluto oppositions and early January as well. So we're leaving behind like some kind of intensity, and we're moving into a sweet oasis of calm or stillness. And then we're going to look at a lot of intensity in March as well. So that's what I'm going to tell you about February as an overview. Breathe, relax, kind of get your grounding. Look for some good luck to come your way, Jupiter. Look for some decisions and actions ready to be pounced on by you in the third week of February. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm on vacation in Mexico. I'm in Puerto Vallarta, thus the bottles of water down there. And I am so delighted to be with you here today from my vacation zone. I don't mind doing videos on vacation. Someone made a comment to take a break. The algorithm doesn't like it when you do that. When I'm relaxed, I'm enjoying this. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, fixed stars, and the old minor asteroids are a part of my wheelhouse. And if you decide to try me out here on YouTube and subscribe, I'm getting close to 100,000 subscribers. I would love if you bump me over that lip. I'm at 99,200 on the 31st of January when I'm recording for you guys today. One of the things I want to say about this sky, and anything about me is in the description box. I'm teaching a Venus retrograde 6-week class. It's going to be very affordable, well under $100. Early bird pricing is going to be in effect. And if you want to, it starts March 1st, run 6 weeks live with me. If you want to get on that wait list so you know when the early bird pricing starts before as the enrollment cart will open, probably around the 7th of February, check the description box below. Click the more button. It'll take you down to a bunch of websites and stuff about me. And then that email enrollment link to get on the wait list is there. All right, so I'm going to bring up a weird idea before we talk about February, because it is astrological, but it's also woo. So for those of you who are not into the woo, bear with me. I keep talking to people all over, my clients, friends all over the world. I hear it on other YouTube channels, this sense that something changed, like around the election. Around November 1st and Halloween is when I felt the shift. And November 1st around that time, and it got more intense as we moved towards the post-election in the United States. I know the world is not US-centric, I get that. But there was a bifurcation of like Rome, a world power, the Caesar of our day, the empire, right? Up until now, since World War II, the United States has been the reigning world empire, the hegemony of the United States. And something split, a timeline split. And I noticed that everything in my life feels weirdly different. And it's almost like I can't put my finger on it, but nothing is quite the same. And I'm only bringing that up for you to consider as we move into 2025. It's almost like in a multiverse, we fractured away, we cut away into this timeline that involves President Donald Trump in power. I'm Canadian. It involves, huge UFO disclosure, AIP, unidentified aerial phenomena, and anomalous phenomena disclosures becoming more prevalent. Involves a weird announcement from the White House that this is just the FAA, the drones doing some research. Nobody believes that. I will say one thing about 2025, we're going to see a massive disclosure or discovery or revelation around this anomalous phenomena and non-human intelligence. So this is the kind of new timeline we're in. Perhaps had Harris won, we'd be in a timeline where disclosure or a revelation may not have happened, but also maybe wars may have continued that could have been perilous to the Earth, including the detonation of nuclear devices. Who knows? But I feel like a Man in the High Castle show, splitting timelines. Okay, go Google that if you don't know what I'm talking about. Like, what if Germany and Japan won the war instead of the United States, World War II? All right, so keeping that backdrop in mind, this new parallel timeline, let's talk about February's energetic signature overview. This is the overview. What did I get right about January is another thing I always start my videos with. And the reason I do that is I want you to know that I'm not perfect, but I do get a lot of the things correct. I did mention, by the way, on 2 videos, in my 2025 overview video, a kind of plane crash landing on a river as one of my predictions in that video that came out at the beginning of January for the year of 2025. And in another video that I did a while back, about 3 weeks ago, maybe some of my followers know which video it was, I shared a dream I'd had about being on an airplane that was crashing into a river. And in the dream, it was going straight down. And in the dream, I survived. So I thought the plane crash would be like a Sully Sullenberger save the day. However, in the dream, there were athletes and coaches aboard, young athletes and coaches. And so now that we've seen the so tragic American Airlines crash with a helicopter, Black Hawk helicopter happening. That was my dream that I had about 2 months ago. And I always do dream prophetically. I have for years. And but at the same time, the new moon in Aquarius had Icarus co-joined with it, who fell from the sky. And in a recent video, I just said of the new moon video about Aquarius new moon, I said like airplane or helicopters falling from the sky. And the reason I said that was because when the president of Iran was down in a fog bank on a mountain in a helicopter and died in May of 2024, Icarus was also highly activated in our current sky. So Icarus is the myth of the boy whose father, Daedalus, invented the wings made of wax, and they were trying to escape captivity from the king of the Minotaur era in ancient Crete, I guess. And they were held captive because he was a scientist, and I guess the king wanted him. Anyway, long story short, the boy flew to the sun, not realizing the wings could melt, and fell from the sky. So things that fall from the sky that try to reach the height of a sky are stories that I always associate with Icarus. So the things that I did talk about in January, I'll go over them for you right now, and then we'll go ahead and look at February. So I'll give you some general predictions. I'm moving world astrology to Wednesdays and starting the second week of February, called What in the World Wednesdays. I'm traveling now, so I don't have time to do that. But I'll give you what I said then, and I'll give you what I say now about world events in February. And then we'll move for a quick note to your sign. I'm going to give you a screenshotable. Please stay for that, because if you don't even listen to the rest of my video, you'll have a great cheat sheet for the month ahead. So this is so low tech, right? So January's overview video, this is kind of the what I got right vibe for world events, okay? I did talk in that video that came out before January 1st. I did talk about that video that around the 2nd or 3rd of January, we may have a terrorist event, a mass shooting, a massacre, something that looks like terrorism. And that was the actual, it turned out to be, for one thing, the guy that drove through the New Year's Eve celebration in New Orleans and killed several people, and was told by the FBI that it was an act of terror. So there is that. Okay, that is one thing that occurred. I did talk about more land grabs, West Bank, Gaza, Israel stuff, especially at West Bank. It probably happened around the 2nd, 3rd of the month, but I didn't check back to see how much more chaos went on in the West Bank with regards to settlements and Israel. I also mentioned back in January, for the forecast for January before things happened, that the inauguration of Donald Trump would happen. And is that a prediction? Well, if you're around the Democratic, tarot readers / astrologers, no, there was going to be a delay, there was going to be a cancellation, there was going to be a Hail Mary pass, and Harris was going to step up and put her hand on the thing, the Bible. Anyway, I said, no, I firmly think he will be inaugurated. I said it clearly, and he indeed had been inaugurated. And I also talked about firing. And that is interesting because we had something going on in the sky at the time where on the 21st, besides a Pluto-Sun conjunction, there was also activation that looked like people being fired. And that's, of course, what happened on the day of the signing of the, what do you call the executive orders? Donald Trump fired several people, 1, 2, 3, bang, 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 that he thought were unfit for work, but were also pro-Biden in the prior administration and anti-Make America Great Again, I suppose. So there was a lot of firing, and I predicted that, and that's exactly what happened. Oh, it was pretty predictable, right? I also mentioned that there would be attempt at a peace or a ceasefire in an ongoing world war. And I suggested Gaza in the video in January. In fact, if you want to check the minutes at which I said it, I start talking about peace in a war at 27 minutes and 8 seconds. I finish the whole topic at 28 minutes and 20 seconds. I talk about a push for peace, a long-term ceasefire, not just a pause in the hostilities. I mention the Middle East. And I also say, you never know, it could also happen in Ukraine. And so that did indeed occur. I'm using astrology to delineate this, just so you know. The end of a war, attempted enduring peace and a ceasefire. The reason I said that in my video, and I declared it would happen in the video between the 18th and around the 21st of the month. And that's indeed as soon as Trump was inaugurated, just on the day before too. And that's 18th to the 20th is when I predicted it. That's when Israel said they were going to engage in a peace negotiation ceasefire in order to exchange hostages in phase 1 of a multi-phase ceasefire. So I got that one right. And it was because Venus was conjunct Saturn and they were both sextiling Mercury. And she was yet to be besieged between malefics, which I talked about before. And I said it will be in another video, when I talk about Venus's malefic enclosure, I say there's going to be lots of ups and downs. There's going to be drops. Balls will be dropped. This is not a straight path to peace, trust me, because something Venus does in the first 7 days of April and around the 24th of April keeps going back to how can this peace happen or not happen in the Middle East? What are the terms of peace? What are the long-range terms of peace, etc.? So this is not a slam dunk, but I got that one right. So I said that there was going to be a change in the stock market. And I said Trump would be firing people. We got that. But I said there's going to be a change in the stock market. And I talked about it because of Venus being in a trine to Mars. Venus enclosed between Saturn and the North Node, which can be considered a malefic enclosure in Pisces, trining a retrograde Mars in his detriment, made me consider a stock market shift. And in the United States Sibley chart, for example, the stock market house with the 8th house has got the sun there, and Mars is going over, the stock market, sun, banking industry, investment industry stories of the United States. And then what happened, guys? What happened around the time that I delineated this? I said this could happen between January, what did I give it to? January 25th to the 27th, January 25th to the 27th. It was on January the 27th that the whole DeepSeek thing blew up big time, and big stock tumble in the NASDAQ, massive downdraft in the tech industry, in the NASDAQ, which is stocks revolving around tech, in tech companies like NVIDIA and Broadcom. So kaboom. Now, I thought it could be up or down. I didn't know. I thought it might go up, but I knew it would hit the stock industry or the stock market, and I got that one right. So that's Lori's greatest hits of the January 2025. Let's see what I get right for February. I'm not feeling very oracular. I just want to get off to the swimming pool. Let me give you the screenshotable. I think you'll enjoy that as a useful, handy dandy tool that you can use for the entirety of this month. Well, let me just not share that, because that's not what I'm sharing. Give me a sec. It's still in the back end of Microsoft. It's coming. Give me a sec. All right. Oh, guys, I'm telling you, I love Mexican culture, food, people. Any of my followers who are Mexico people, like from Mexico, not someone from Canada living here, like everyone, thank you for your country. February 2020, and friendly and kind. And I love Mexico. I love it. I've been coming to Mexico for years. Back to life. February 2025 highlights. Want to grab a screenshot? This is your chance. Now, it's a very calm month. Remember the oasis. We're going to talk more about a pocket of quiet in the sky coming up this month. But let's move through the sky in a chronological manner. On the beginning of the month, February 1st to the 3rd, Venus will still be in the sign of Pisces, and she'll go into a conjunction to Neptune. It's also a triple conjunction. It'll be Venus, Neptune, and the North Node of Fate. And the last time those three gathered together, at this time it's at 28 degrees of Pisces, around the first second of the month. The last time this occurred was in 1858. So that's rare. And it's in Pisces. And Pisces has several meanings, but let's get back to the vibe. You know, Venus is trying to exalt and do something really great here. She's like, all power to me, all glory. I'm on the high holy path of divine love, higher love, compassion, empathy, high creativity, universal love. And then she gets kind of wedged between Saturn, a Debbie Downer, raining on her parade. Let's get real. Let's make it real. Let's be serious. And the other side, sober-minded and realistic. And then on the other side of her, the North Node, who just wants to amplify her, I want to know what love is, you know, or any of those really high romance songs or high love. And what happens is she breaks free of the enclosure on the February 1st midday kind of vibe into February 2nd and 3rd. While she's still in Pisces, something can feel like a freedom from something that was restricting you in money, in love. And because I've done a video on this, it comes out on Sunday. I'm recording it before it comes out, about Venus and her malefic enclosure and her journey through Aries, Pisces. Go watch the video. That's coming out 2 days from this. I'm popping this into your world on Saturday, February 1st. Watch the video that's coming out on Sunday, the day after I drop this, because you'll be able to go more deeply into the Venus narrative. Pisces for the world. Well, any underprivileged, underserved person, like homeless people, refugees, people who are struggling, mental illness, addictions, but also borders of land between places. Like Gaza is a strip of land between, the sea, and then like behind them, if you go far back enough to the West Bank, there are mountains. So, well, I mean, above them and behind them, but you get the gist. And so, geographically speaking, there's a lot of the Gaza Strip that speaks to the archetype of the Piscean shores, right, between the land and the sea. So the river to the sea. And, so that's very much a story there. Venus is breaking free. And I am an empiricist. I study and research and ask and question and make a hypothesis. My hypothesis is it should feel good. Will it feel good for the Middle East? I don't know, because I'll tell you what. Saturn is containing the peace. Venus rules peace, and the North Node is amplifying things. And so the containment of peace while hostages are exchanged is a kind of reason that this malefic enclosure, so to speak, is working right now. Could it mean that when she breaks free, then all hell breaks loose? Let's see what happens. We'll see it shift in the Israel, Gaza, Hamas, brokered ceasefire storyline, most likely on February 1st to the 3rd. Good or bad, I'm not sure. In your own life, where you're struggling with something that's holding you back in love, money, peace, harmony, friendship, it's the Pisces whole sign house of your chart. You can look in my description box for how to cast your chart in whole sign houses, how to get my free meanings of the 12 houses PDF. It's all in my description box. Do you know what a description box is? Google it on Google and find out. People seem to watch YouTube and not know where the description box is. It's like the show notes under the video. Click the more button. Mercury is in Aquarius, around more closely aligned to the 3rd and 4th, but he's in Aquarius trining Jupiter as Jupiter stations direct in Gemini. So this is very positive. This is Jupiter going direct under exceptionally positive circumstances with good news, good information. Mercury in Aquarius is about tech, high tech, about inventions, about information, about warring brothers who need to come to a terms of peace, like Ukraine, Russia, warring nations beside each other, of course, Israel, Gaza. And also we see that Jupiter being a benefic and a greater benefic now going direct can help bring justice, fairness, and goodness and peace to places of war. And that will be happening on the 3rd and the 4th, like a sustainable ceasefire or a sustainable conversation by Trump with Putin and maybe Zelensky about terms of ending the war, for example, breaking through and free on the 3rd, 4th into the 5th of the month of February. In your own life, it just feels good, and you have to know what the meaning of your whole sign Aquarius and whole sign Gemini sky is. But don't worry, because on my Monday All Signs video, I'll be covering that, and you'll be able to watch that video as well. One thing about Jupiter going direct, and I will bring this up more on Monday, he's going back to finish unfinished business. He slowed down October the 10th or so. And so anything you were up to between about May the 23rd to October 10th, most particularly mid-July to October 10th, could have stalled out in your life. And, the bounty slowed and you went inward and deepened and paused. But now you can continue forward February 4th until June 9th, getting that momentum and fast-paced growth, expansion, luck, hope, faith, and optimism in your whole sign Gemini sky. Jupiter will head direct on February 4th, as I said. So we covered that, and you can see it's in your screenshotable. And this is happening at 11 degrees of Gemini on the Bullseye star, which is a powerful, very powerful star called Aldebaran. If you want to watch the video about this for your sign in depth, it's already out. So go and look through my videos on my channel. Just hit the videos button. You'll see the order of most recent drops. That video is out already. I think it came out on Thursday, the something or other behind me, Thursday the 30th, and go check it out. And what I didn't say at the beginning of this video is I actually have individual all signs videos for each of you for 30 minutes each that already came out a week ago. So go check your individual 30-minute videos as well. Venus in Aries, sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. This is a good story. This feels like it's yoga for wealth. It's union for harmony, peace, a deep dive into creativity, unearthing things to do with eroticism and power around love and beauty and kindness and art. However, Venus in Aries is the tomboy. She's got her chutzpah vibe. She's her Xena warrior princess. She's not in her good shape here technically, but she's still in a flowing vibration to Pluto and Aquarius. And this is beautiful energy then to do with uncovering something deep within yourself, to do with love, peace, and harmony. And you know something, they could also bring some prosperity with a sextile. Venus is going to be in Aries for a very long time. And that's the video you should watch on Sunday, because she's doing a redo of 2017 spring. Okay. So there's things about the way she is in Aries getting ready to retrograde on March the 1st, et cetera, that are really important to understand as she builds towards that. She's in her shadow right now of the retrograde cycle. So there's a lot more than I can possibly cover in an overview, but Venus being a goddess of peace in Aries isn't so good. You know, the goddess of peace in the sign of war, you know, and we're trying to get a ceasefire in multiple world wars. So what I'm wondering is if Pluto in Aquarius is some strong arm character who is forcing peace on Venus, right? So an ultimatum for peace. Now, Aquarius is a sign of China. It is a rising sign. Power to China. I already said, with Pluto moving into Aquarius in multiple videos throughout the last 3 years, China is going to power up and become a world dominating power. And now we have DeepSeek, their new AI that rivals Meta and OpenAI. This is a no-brainer. So with Pluto in Aquarius and it's sextiling Venus in Aries, it is a possibility that China gets elbowed into some role in some kind of peace deal or financial engagement. Maybe this is a TikTok story where China's TikTok inventor finally finds a solution vis-a-vis United States' desire to ban TikTok. What really bothers me about the TikTok ban, bear with me, is that it was really put in place by the American government because it did not like the young people, ages 18 to 25, 30, 40 at TikTok, who disagreed with the United States funding a genocide in the Middle East. And because there was even considered pro-Palestinian content, but really was anti-G content, there was a desire to shut down TikTok. Just in case you wonder what really is going on there, it's not just about some kind of software embed that's going to get information and data that harms the United States. It's like it was a political move to quell the dissent about the funding of the war in the Middle East. Okay. And what really also bothers me when people say, people are being anti-Semitic when they're simply being pro-life about not having thousands of women and children decimated and killed and their properties decimated and turning cities into parking lots and rubble. Okay, and I don't care. I'm not going to apologize. If you're a Zionist, then go away. Don't be here with me. All right. February 6th to the 12th, Mars in Cancer, trine Saturn in Cancer. Oh, trine Saturn in Cancer. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to fix it now. Mars... Obviously, it can't trine Saturn in Cancer. So the screenshotable is fallible here. Mars is in Cancer, trining Saturn in Pisces. All right, Saturn in Pisces. Mars in Cancer, retrograde still, right? Going back over old ground that connects to October, the month of October, in December, till about November 4th. So something in our lives collectively and individually to do with Mars and Cancer, homeland, protect the homeland, protect the homestead, fierce protection of family and property and home. Real estate markets can be Cancerian, Mars is retrograde, but flowing to the god of stability in the sign of Pisces. There could be some kind of considerations going on in legislation, for example, to stabilize things to do with real estate and real estate markets, or new banking loans and terms developing in parts of the world that connect to people having a home and fighting for their right to have an affordable home. And that would be legislative material, obviously. Mars is in the sign that can relate to the stock markets. He's retrograding, but he flows with Saturn, stabilization of the stock markets, particularly in the United States. Finally, in Israel, Cancer is a part of the sky that represents its leaders. It's a politically appointed leader, Netanyahu, and leaders, and the ones in power. And so Mars is retrograding back over some October real estate in the sky. So things like that happen in the war there in October, but flowing to Saturn, stabilizing Saturn in Pisces, Gaza, stabilizing the situation. Now, floods, droughts, water hardship, Saturn and Pisces, Mars, heat in Cancer, water. If there were any water hardships that were ongoing, let's say in October, some of those themes return, but also maybe with Saturn, it could also bring some stability. It almost reminds me of getting the sandbags in place for a flood and making sure that everyone's okay. It also reminds me of advanced preparation for fires. Mars dries up the water, right, too. So, people being able to be ahead of the curve on things to do with hardships with water, or peace in the Middle East being stabilized. It kind of like be good to go back to the middle of October, add 2 weeks, and ask yourself what was happening regarding the war in the Middle East, because those stories, mid-October to November 4th, are kind of in the place where Mars is traveling, meaning that if there's going to be some kind of significant stabilization of the ceasefire agreements and the hostage exchanges, and what the hell to do with 2-point-something million people when most of their homes have been destroyed. If some solutions are going to be had, this could be the beginning of that story. February 6th to the 12th. That's a long time, February 6th to the 12th, for Mars and Saturn to work together. In your own life, it's working hard on a project that you were working on in October, or doing some kind of hard work connected to things in October, because hard work pays off, endurance, active forbearance, etc. Mercury will become one with the sun, conjunct the sun, February 9th, 10th. It's all time zone dependent. Mercury, Cazimi, in the heart of the sun, is squaring Uranus and Taurus. Taurus is fixed sign. Uranus is shake it up. Algol, the wealth star, is there. It may also be about earthquakes. It could be a very important energy around information and news released from Taurus stuff, which involves stock markets, the bull, right, the markets. Algol is that wealth star, and there could be an eruption around money, some situations to do with money, but also stocks. Mercury and also crypto. Uranus, Taurus is crypto. So crypto eruptions one way or the other, but information and news, something coming through. Mercury is going to deliver some information here. He's in Aquarius with Pluto. So what could he deliver to the doorstep of reality? Shock and awe. Squares are a little bit intense, and it looks like a news cycle story for the most part. Of course, Aquarius belongs to the ascendant of China. Big breaking news stories are regarding China that rocks the markets and in the stock markets, maybe. Joe Biden has a moon in Taurus, but he's kind of gone from the public sphere, but it could be a Joe Biden story. Israel has a sun in Taurus. Could be an Israel story, the nation of Israel. Okay, I'm just giving you some thoughts and some ideas here. Pluto, Aquarius energy is about power to the people, power for the people grabbing the power. Uranus is rebellion, and there may be a rebellion to acquire power for the people, a protest, a rebellion, a coup d'etat, something like that. World stories, February 9th and 10th. On February 13th to the 18th, we have the dead zone. That's like a cell phone tower dead zone, or an oasis, take your pick. It's literally like there's no major aspects happening. I'm not putting in the minor asteroids from this traditional, 7 planets, even the outer planets, there's nothing major happening. So I would use your oasis, no cell phone signal, towers are out, whatever, February 13th to the 18th, I would use it for a calm window of time in which you can reflect and not have the planets grab you, not be swayed by the planets, not be grabbed by the planets like some pawn on the divine game board, but rather instead to let yourself go into the stillness and allow yourself to get your inner voice activated without the chatter, the cacophony, and the chaos of the transiting aspects in the current sky, because they do influence us. And this is where you have more self-determination, in my humble opinion. February the 20th, Mercury will square Jupiter in Gemini. Okay, so it's a square, so it will incite decisions and actions. That's what squares can do. It feels tense, and you must do something or act on it or make a decision in order to diffuse the tension. And by the way, squares are the nature of Mars. So Mercury, the communicating guy, is going to square Jupiter in Gemini, and Jupiter in Gemini is extremely chatty. There's a conversation going on. He's going to talk. Now Mercury's moved into Pisces here, and Jupiter is in Gemini, and he is in direct motion. So there's some kind of exciting, really cool energy that wants to be amplified in the communication sphere. Pisces can be mute in a water sign, so it might be very soft touch. It might be inner. And Mercury can be mute in a water sign, so you might have an inner, dreamy, like new bit of information. In Mercury and Pisces can be the dream messenger coming through from Jupiter that gives you prosperity, abundance, and forward momentum in your Gemini whole sign house. And that momentum will continue on to force good things to happen for you till June the 9th. I mean, Jupiter and Gemini, right? That was May of 2024 to June 9th of 25. And that's the same thing you felt in like June of 2013 to June of 2014. But this time we have different variables, like the node of fate in Pisces. It's not the same story, but it's similar. So actions, I mean, that must be taken, decisions that must be made, or good or lucky news that require actions and decisions coming through your sky. Positive news, good news, February 20th. Give it a day or two before and after. On February 23rd, Mars will be direct in the sign of Cancer at 17 degrees station. Well, this is extremely good because Mars has been retrograde since December 6th, retrograding at 6 degrees of Leo, then sliding January the something 6 into the sign of Cancer. Then he is in Cancer till April 18th, but he is now in direct motion. So you have a whole sign Cancer house in your chart. I'll be doing a video on this just on its own. And now you can take actions and decisions in your Cancer sky so that you can move forward with clarity and confidence and boldness that hasn't been available to you since you retrograded December the 6th. So exciting times ahead. Obviously, if you're a Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it's great. Your decision-making power comes zooming online. But you know, your Aries and Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn really get into this vibe. You are going to be activated to go forward boldly where you've never gone before. And in this kind of vibe, Mars going direct in Cancer, it takes you back. It takes you back to what was going on in your life, September of 1977, all the way through until literally, technically, April till June of 1988. It's going to repeat similar vibrations with Mars going in and out of Leo and Cancer in a very similar way. So it might be useful to go back to that part of your life. Then Mercury will be in Pisces trining Mars. Really? Mercury's in Pisces trining Mars? That doesn't sound right. Is that true? I have no idea where that came from. Oh, goodness gracious. Ignore that. That was from last month's slide. I just write over the exact same slide. I will be hiring assistants this year, so that I don't make these mistakes. Oh, he just tried Mars. Of course, Mercury will be in Pisces trining Mars. I am correct. February the 23rd. All right. This is called vacation brain, just in case you want to know. If you're looking for commercial success, business enterprise success, this is a double down yes. Marketing and merchandising, commerce, that's a mercurial thing when Mars gets involved. So around February 23rd, it could be a good launch day, 23rd, 24th, with that flow of Mercury to Mars as he stations direct, right? You could use that as a kind of launch pad for something in a business endeavor or a work endeavor that requires success. And Mercury can also bring you some information or news that you need to have, some understanding, some email or phone call or text message around February 23rd that connects you to some kind of decision or action you need to make relative to the meaning of your Cancer whole sign house. And I'll be doing a video on that for my week ahead that week. Mercury will co-join Saturn in Pisces on February 25th. Now, this is Mercury who likes to talk and communicate, hitting a hard wall. So there can be constraint or constriction around negotiations, communications. In this case, when I think about the Middle East, because Pisces is very Gaza energy, I would say that we're looking at some kind of roadblock or some constriction around negotiations, deal making, and conversations to do with peace. However, this in your own life isn't, you're not a country. So what can you do with it? You can make your ideas realistic around February 25th. You can make your communications stoic, stern, and realistic. You can, do those sorts of things relative to the Pisces part of your heavens. And any ideas you concoct, any ideas that you have then through Mercury will have a long tail and go the distance and have sturdy, long range implications. Connected to the Pisces sky, right? Like I'm an Aquarius rising, that's my second house of earnings and money. So look to your meanings of your 12 houses, whole sign. And finally, on February 27th, Mercury will sextile Uranus and Taurus. Hallelujah. Well, is this a well star? Algol's there. There's, unexpected, surprising good news to do with things to do with Taurus parts of your sky and the Pisces part of your sky. Breakthrough energy, break free, breakthrough, unexpected, surprising, positive news in the world and in your life. Of course, February 27th, it looks like maybe the 25th, 26th, 27th, that's that Middle East conundrum or some maybe difficulty in a watery environment connected to challenges. So if it's not war, it's something else connected to a Pisces shoreline, and some kind of breakthrough could go on. Pisces in the United States natal Sibley chart represents now the Democratic Party because they're the party in opposition to the ones in leadership. So a hardship for the Democrats around February 25th and maybe a surprising breakthrough on the 27th, something like that. All right, lastly, see the two moons on the side, Leo full moon, February 12th. Pisces new moon, February 27th. Not delineating it because I'll be doing lunar videos like I do every month for your sign. Now we're going to talk very quickly for each sign. I want to remind you that I've already done a video. It's already out. And the video that I already put out is for your sign, 30 minutes. Go watch the playlist. So I'm going to give you a touch point on Jupiter and Mars, where things are after stall going forward. And we're going to go boom, boom, boom through that just for fun. Now, one more thing. UFO disclosures. UFO disclosures happen in the United States when the asteroid Urania transits Sagittarius, which it was doing November, December, January, end of January. Okay. So there's something about that that's behind us. But asteroid Urania going through Sagittarius is tick-tock every 7 years, literally a predictable UFO wave of conversation within the United States, because the United States has a Sag rising. However, there is something about this end of February that makes me wonder if the lame drone excuse with the FAA doing research, etc., which sounds like bullshit, by the White House will no longer hold water or weight. Okay. And that therefore this Mercury sextile Uranus and Taurus, Mercury conjunct Saturn and Pisces, that window of time, and even Mercury and Pisces trining Mars in Cancer, could be about more disclosures. And the reason is that Taurus is the earth, Pisces is the sea. A lot of people suggest that underwater bases through the anomalous phenomena goes in and out of the oceans, meaning that there are bases of non-human intelligence under the water. I want to say a prediction can be major, surprising, shocking, exciting, exhilarating, titillating disclosures about non-human technology or interdimensionals, I don't know what they are, and more disclosures around this stuff. And again, we're going to go February 23rd to the 27th with maybe a highlight around February 27th. Because it's all connected to Pisces, I would say it has things to do with water, but Cancer in the United States chart can be secrets as well. It activates the Scorpio story as well. That Mercury and Pisces trine Mars will activate the Scorpio part of the United States chart. And so secrets being spoken, secrets being revealed, secrets being told, February 23rd to the 27th. And Mars is going direct. And, it's funny because Mars has been retrograde since December 6th. And it was really big energy in December around all of these drones around New Jersey. Guys, they weren't over just New Jersey. They were worldwide drones, but there were also orbs that looked like plasma. It wasn't just things that looked like drones. Okay. So whatever was going on with Mars retrograde in December into January, goes direct February 23rd. And now things can come out of the hidden realms, and it's a lot of water involved there. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. We'll see what happens. Scorpio and Pisces and Cancer are hidden houses in the United States Sibley chart. They're the moksha houses. They're 4 and 8 and 12. And stealth and CIA and intelligence agencies are scorpionic. And in essence, there could be some significant revelations, therefore, around this window, February 23rd to the 27th. As we get closer to that, I will look deeper at it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do a quick touch point for your sign. I'm not going to spin the wheel. It's too complicated to spin it, and I'm on vacation. So I'm just going to tell you about your sign, I think. No, I'm not. My sister Nancy, who's timestamping this for me on a fast turnaround, needs to see the wheel. So we'll put the wheel up. Do not tell me about why is it stuck on February 1st, okay? Because it's convenient for me to whip through this touch point on the direct motion planets rather than inconvenient. Let's get it off a pin to Aries and move it to whole sign. And we're going to go through your story. All righty. And please tell me it held the whole sign. Let's take a look if I can go forward. No, of course not. Software fails to deliver as usual. Come on, guys who created this software, Astro Gold for Mac. It's so frustrating when you try to change a chart to another sign system and it doesn't want to cooperate. All right, hopefully it worked. Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. So, hey guys, 2 planets going direct after stalemate. So Jupiter moving direct on February 4th. Hallelujah. Jump into motion around online projects, writing communications projects, travel adventures, teaching and learning adventures, social media land. Yay. Go forth boldly through to June the 9th. Know that you got this. You were stalled out since October 10th. Now you're whipping up a storm of prosperity, expansion, and success. It's really good also for connecting to your aunts, uncles, nieces, cousins, siblings, neighbors, and neighborhood, and prospering thereof, or expanding your connection to them, or expanding your neighborhood, however that looks for you. With Mars going direct, decisions and actions you've been trying to make, had stalled out. You had to go back and think about it, and really wonder, December 6th till 23rd of February, what do I want to do regarding my home? Do I want to move? Do I want to sell it? Do I want to travel far and wide from home? Do I want to build a new home? Do I want to end something in the home? Do I want to communicate an ending about something I'm doing in the home? Because Mars likes to cut, end, and sever, but also make changes. And so if you have been considering acting and deciding about your domestic and private and home-based matters, then boom, as Mars goes into direct motion, you also are going to move forward. And you have a lot of support to do that from that Saturn. So major changes in the home that you're going to make. Thank you, Mars, starting February 23rd and continuing to mid-April. Those changes are available to you. Saturn launches in a kind of like changes that go the distance, that serve the long game of your life. These are changes that will have lasting implication over years, not days or months. Okay. As you can see, the house system is not changing. Again, it's not changing. Let me try something else. I'm just changing all. Oh, I see. It wants me to save the old system, then go back and change the new system. Astro Gold, you have a glitch, and I've been telling you for years. Whole sign. Now let's try going to Taurus. Okay, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, first of all, on February 4th, Jupiter goes direct through to the 9th of June. You've been kind of paused and held back and thinking about things since around the 10th of October when he went into retrograde that are connected to your money. Now, this is job, earnings, resources, money you make, money you possess and save. This is your financial well-being. And you're literally looking at a situation where you had to sort of go deepen your bounty, go back, go inward. Some of you may have gone back to old jobs, got money from old sources of income during this cycle of retrograde since October 10th. But he's going forward, and he's got so much support from like that Mercury Pluto vibe in the 10th house. You're powering up around money and work and career and reputation and social standing. And some of you might even change your job to get something much more lucrative or to succeed, to rise to greater levels of financial wellness and power in your existing work or livelihood, or even a business if you own one. So you're really going to increase your success, bounty, prosperity, and luck. Looking for a job? Great. Looking to increase your reputation as vis-a-vis your possessions and money? Great. All right. Now, what about the Mars story? Mars is retrograde until the 23rd, but he has a mission for you. And I want you to go back to December 6th. That's when he first started retrograding in Leo, but nonetheless retrograding. I'm wondering if you want to go forward on some kind of situation to do with learning, traveling, online social media and writing projects, marketing and selling and communicating projects, changes to do with your neighborhood. But this is a travel place, and Mars does like to travel. And so you adventures, going on a trip, taking a journey, but you've been thinking about it. Well, he's going direct February 23rd, and he looks at your house of pilgrimages, and he trines the Lord of pilgrimages for you. So some of you might be thinking of taking some time away to journey, to adventure. I mean, again, this energy is a turning point in your ability to act and decide on February 23rd. And it will be true through until mid-April that this action decision plan may emerge. And if you want to end, cut, and sever a third house matter, you may end a relationship or finally close down a connection to a sibling younger, aunts, uncles, cousins. If you have a brick and mortar business, you might close the business. That's what Mars would do in that situation. You may even shut down your website. Could you want to make a big change here? Something wants to shift. And if none of that's relevant to you, then it could be an opportunity for some significant travel coming up for you. And it could even be professional travel based on this chart. So Venus rules, your house of work, and she's also in an overall trine here. So I kind of like it for you if you're, it's February 23rd. Never mind about that last thing. She'll be in Aries. It does connect to travel opportunities that you want to excitedly say yes to for some of you. Again, time frame, February 23rd until April the 18th. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. I have a progressed Gemini sun. I relate. By the way, progressed planets are not as significant as your natal planets. So if you want to know how to progress your sun, just move it a degree a year for every age you are. Okay, that's the easiest way to do it. So if you're 60, your sun is 60 degrees further along your wheel of your chart. So I have an Aries sun and I'm 62. So now my sun is in Gemini. Okay, so with this placement, Gemini, you are lucky, you are healthy, you are blessed, and you are protected. Jupiter is a protector. And so he's got your back, and he's had your back all through May 25th of 2024, and will continue to do so until June 9th. So this is a very important time in your life. Every 12 years, Jupiter blesses you. He will be moving direct. You may have felt oh so lucky, oh so robustly healthy, oh so generous, magnanimous, and maybe a little chubby. If you put weight on when he's in this part of your sky, you may have been feeling really good about all of those things, until October 10th. And then he retrograded. Oh, for me, it's my sun. So it's my Gemini career. That was after the election debacle, which a few thousand subscribers dumped me for declaring Harris might win. But actually, let me tell you, I did do a Horary November 1st, just as a timeline split that said Trump would win, and shared it with my Patreon community. So those 500 people knew about it, but you guys didn't, because I didn't want to bait and switch you on YouTube. But you couldn't win. You were damned if you did and damned if you didn't on that election. Really, it was painful. We had a timeline fracture. I'm absolutely certain of it. And we don't have a nuclear war because of it. No, we're not going to have a nuclear war because we fractured to a timeline where the nuclear war will not happen. Now, look, Jupiter will bless. That's his job. Blessings, anyone? Alms for the poor, to blessings, blessings. So now blessings come back to you. And we define blessings differently, but all I can say is February 4th, he goes direct in the house of your sun, moon, or rising. You have direct motion. Sun, blessings in your career. Moon, blessings with your home, maybe your body. Sometimes your moon is like your body, sometimes your emotions, and the ascendant, everything about you can be blessed. So lucky in love, lucky in home, lucky in career, lucky in money. Take your pick. Just luck, 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 luck. Blessings, blessings, blessings. So go for it. Just nothing you can do with it. You become it. Now, when we go into Mars going direct in your second house of money, earnings, possessions, and resources and values, you are going to make some major decisions, take some great important actions starting February 23rd. This action-taking, decision-making power is now amplified with success through to April 18th. You notice that, Mars did start retrograding on December 6th and retrograded in Cancer January 6th. But it's plausible that as he goes forward, if you go back to October about financial things that you were considering, and you're going to see the motion and momentum, decisions and actions taking place. You're powering up. This is great for entrepreneurs and self-starters. Mars is a classic self-starter. If you've always wanted to start your own business, side hustle, do it. Otherwise, just look at momentum, actions, and decisions that favor you in long-term ways that expand long-term gains and a new long tail in your career. What do I mean by a long tail? Saturn is in your career house. This is like you're going to go in a direction that informs your career and earning structures for a longer time frame. Because the last time this kind of vibe happened was fall of 77 into midsummer of 78. I was in high school, for God's sake, but it would have been like I must have picked up a study of a certain topic that I knew would become my career. At that time, it was writing, and then I was journalism, right? In fact, so that's what happened for me. All right. Moving forward into each sign in a timely manner. Oh, I think I need a chocolate break, but can I hold off? Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign, just know luck, opportunity, and blessings jolting you forward in your 12th house. Well, your 12th house, February 4th to June the 9th, is going to bring you income from foreign lands and foreign places and foreign shores, digital borderless income, if that's your gig. Otherwise, a golden lucky opportunity for learning and studying under a guru, spiritual teacher, ashram, or a topic that is in alignment with your dharma and your purpose in life. And so a lot of you will educate under this influence. And again, Jupiter going direct, you may have thought you wanted to study something, take a course, or make money in an international revenue way, and you were pondering it since May of last year. And now you can go forward on that because Jupiter will deepen your bounties. And now he did that. Now spring forward. And the forward energy is really intense. It's like February 3rd until June the 9th. You got this. He's moving swiftly. Although most of February he's quite stationary, but you can really get some leapfrogging excitement going here about those sorts of 12th house matters. You could also get bounty and financial abundance through an inheritance because Jupiter is in the house of hospitals, Pluto's in the house of death. Energy around inheritance money, but lucky financial breaks through dispensations of inheritance could occur between now and June 9th. February 4th to June the 9th. Now, Mars is going direct. You make actions, you take decisions. February 23rd to June the 9th. You make actions and you take decisions because you are Mars. And you've got this and you know what to do. You know how to cut, end, and separate. You will cut things from your life, sell that home, end that relationship, ask that kid to leave the nest. You will change that career. You will activate that learning house. You are the one with the decision power. You are got the game controller in your hand, but you know how to end things, cut and sever if necessary. And you have this power in a way you haven't had since 77, 78, fall of 77 to summer of 78. So use it. And that's all I can say. That's what you got, and you're going to use it or lose it. It is especially good if you're trying to make decisions around educational and learning and life purpose matters. All right, I am going to have just a titch of chocolate, and I shall return. Okay. If you are a chocolate lover and you come to Mexico, this is organic and it is insanely delicious. It's dark 90% chocolate. And it's I don't know if Mente Cacao is the name of the company. chocolate real, but it is insanely delicious. Okay. And I know I'm not sponsoring these guys, and they try to say something in Spanish back here, like, Mente Cacao te invita a disfrutar el authentic sabor del chocolate real mexicano. Estamos aferrados en preservar el character, to preserve the character sagrado que el cacao tuvo para nuestros antepasados. I don't know what that means. Before something? No. Okay. So I don't know enough Spanish to remember what these words mean. Lucomos por un commercial? Like commercial? Oh my God. I'm trying to understand that. Someone help me. Lucamos por un comercio justo y conservamos, to conserve las mejores practices, the major practices, las mejores prácticas para su elaboración, utilizando un chocolate de calidad y sin suplementos. A real chocolate. Sorry, that was really hard. But I love Spanish in high school. I studied for 4 years, and I went to Mexico City when I was 16. And if I have anything to do, and I speak a little bit of French because I'm Canadian, anything to do before a bucket list is to spend time long enough in a Spanish-speaking country that I master the whole damn thing. I was reading Moliere plays in Spanish in my last year of high school, and I loved the language. And I would be in my French class, and I would speak in my French class in Spanish by mistake. I would say "sí" instead of "oui," because I find the language just amazing and also easier to learn. Now, I'm sure that was boring and also painful if you speak Spanish, but I think that chocolate is beyond amazing. I'm taking some back with me. Now, let's say Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. And thank you very much, everyone who noticed that I told you I was autistic spectrum disordered, or like neurodivergent. I am, but I'm not going to belabor that anymore. It's a backstory at this point, but I will share more as I learn more about things about me that I need to know. And if any other neurodivergent people, I am ADD, that I've known since are out there, I'll try to share my journey with you. A lot of you in the comments have been so supportive. So late diagnosed, right? So Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign, it is a story for you that you're going to have a bounding forward of luck in the house of Jupiter's joy. Joy to the world. Jupiter loves the 11th house. He expands your social groups, your networks, your friendships. He expands your gains in your career. He grows and expands and gives you lucky breaks when it comes to allies, benefactors, and windfalls and pennies from heaven. This is your story. Take it or leave it. The 4th of February through to June the 9th, and it's taking cue from what started in May. You might have gone May 25th, 2024 to October 10th and went, yay me, in this area I just described. Then it kind of slowed down or went offline a bit. It's back and it's better than ever. Mars is going direct in your 12th house of backroom deals and negotiations, anyone, and travel to foreign shores and lands, maybe things that connect you to hospitals in some way. Mars is cutting, ending, and severing, but he has been here, ever since September, all of October. Then he dipped out in November and December. So the thing about Mars in this part of your sky is that he is mute. He doesn't speak. It's a water sign. And so it's kind of inner life too. What are you cutting, ending, and severing? Addiction, self-undoing? Because it's going direct on February 23rd, and you are going to bound into direct action and motion. Cut the addiction, end and sever, leave the hospital, quit the hospital. Make decisions and take actions that serve your long-range finances, because he sextiles your second house of your wealth and your earnings, and he flows to your chunky money, including inheritance. Now, in his trine to Saturn, some very old person in your family system may be able to pass away and leave you money under this influence. Okay, February 23rd through to April the 18th. And if there are any family secrets hidden away from you to do with your family of origin or your spouse, spousal and family of origin secrets could emerge as he goes direct on February 23rd until mid-April. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Jupiter bounds direct in February, the 4th time frame through to June 9th in your 10th house of career and reputation. Now, it is, if you're retired, how people see you in the world. And we make announcements. I'm getting married. I'm getting engaged. I'm getting divorced. It's your public status in life. So Jupiter has been backtracking up here. Now he's going direct. So things that have been kind of stalled out here since October 10th are going to now move forward. Now, if you want to consider that he is the ruler of your marriage house, it could be like you and your partner were thinking of moving in together. Now you do, or getting engaged, and now you announce it to the world. Or you're just dating and now you announced you're committed monogamous. So those kinds of shifts can happen for some of you guys as Jupiter heads into direct motion. And he'll do that, like bounce forward on February 4th to June 9th. Look to, the end of May 2024 to about the 10th of October, because things were moving forward in that direction for you then. And now maybe everything kind of just got flatlined. But the flatline is Jupiter going deeper, to kind of deepening the bounty. A career luck is here for you, of course. And, getting a new job, applying for a new job, being rewarded, being awarded in your, being, getting the employee of the month, getting some kind of significant recognition in your career is something that you can have going on here for sure. Starting on February 4th, all the way through to the 9th of June. What about Mars? Mars is going to be going forward on February 23rd in direct motion through to mid-April. In your house of great gains in your career. However, he's known for his endings here. You may have a severing of a long-term relationship that is like a friendship or social group that you no longer want to belong to. You may make the decision to cut away, or your friend cuts away. You may be having an ending here with a sibling, older relationship falling apart, or big arguments that lead to a new grounds of terms of connecting to that sibling when older. Mars definitely here, though, can also make changes if direction starting on February 23rd to the gains in your career and how you make money in your career. So when I say that, I mean, like, it could be that you've always, maybe had a business partnership. Now you're going to be solo. Maybe you, made a certain salary and now that's not enough. So you're making some changes February 23rd. Through to April 18th. And with Jupiter in your 10th house, the changes are lucky and fortunate. And you can change jobs under this. Okay, Jupiter now goes direct. You could look for a new job if you're looking for employment, and you could get it, especially with Jupiter in a trine to Pluto in your 6th house. Go for it. This is a beautiful sky for looking for a better position in your work, like applying for an upgrade or a promotion or a new job or a new career path as well. Now, I want to go back. Hope my sister catches it. And I hate to break it to you, but when Jupiter goes direct as Lord of your 7th house of primary long-term love, if that relationship was being investigated October 10th through to now, February 4th, and you're thinking, is this the one for me? Jupiter's just as happy to say we're separating or getting divorced as we're getting married, right? It can go both ways. I better tell my sister to make sure she bubbles back on this timestamp. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. So what we got going on here is we've got this Jupiter forward motion, the Lord of luck in the house of Dharma. Now, this is a luck house. Lakshmi owns it. It brings wealth and prosperity and luck. And it could be luck and wealth and prosperity from book publishing, foreign lands and travel, father figures, whatever it is, it's just luck. Double your luck flowing to your Libra ascendant, or moon or rising. You're lucky, lucky, lucky. So good for you. You might have felt really lucky and adventurous. This is a house of travel internationally. This is pilgrimages. I have a Libra friend who was on the El Camino with me during Jupiter direct, the 25th of May, right? Through to October 10th. And she was out on a pilgrimage. She wrote a book about it. Her name is Renee Baribeau. She'll be coming on my channel about the pilgrimage journey. And this is exciting because now she's got this direct, and all you Libras have some kind of direct motion, luck and prosperity, abundance and expansion, going to school, going to university, going to college, traveling the world, getting a book publishing deal, getting success in publications, podcasting, expansion and growth. Things like this, Jupiter will bless you. He owns your 3rd house with social media, digital media, online websites. All of this can expand greatly over the course of what? February 4th to June the 9th. And Mars is going direct. Major decisions in your career, major decisions. You could quit your job could quit you. Mars up there is good on that. Did you quit a job, or did a job or a career path quit you? fall of 77 to like by the time June of 78, similar vibration is back. And also you could be very much a go-getter. You might be passionate, driven, action taking, perseverant, disciplined, and focused. Mars is going to go direct, and he's going to boost forward with an all-purpose trine to Saturn. Like, you have got a worker bee in your bonnet, but you're passionate and you're going for it. Otherwise, severing and ending that work path for something better. And so it can go both ways. And renewed passion, February 23rd to mid-April for the work you're doing with perseverant hard work and gung-ho, or yeah, you know what I mean? You quit or they quit you. It's all good. It is all good. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Jupiter goes direct. Hallelujah. Chunky money, luck. This is one of the classic inheritance transits. Sorry, I know it happens. He's been here since May 25th. He leaves on June 9th. He's stalled out in a retrograde since October 10th. Are you going to get some chunky money? You could also get a bank loan, a mortgage. You could also sell a property and get a chunk of money. This is activating banking industries and homes. So this is true until June the 9th. But if it's not an inheritance, it could be a property sale. If it's an inheritance, father figures, male figures, maybe because of the solar transit at this time of February through the 4th house. Mercury is commerce and commercial success. Again, buying real estate, renegotiating a mortgage, renegotiating credit card debt, refinancing. You can just get money from a family member without someone dying even, mom or dad or up the line. That's also possible. Now, as you look at the idea of Mars moving direct, he's going to help you travel, like foreign adventures. I'm off to Siberia. I'm in a yurt with, a shaman. And they're doing tube and throat singing or whatever. Boing, 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 boing. I had an ex-boyfriend who was one of those throat singers. It's really cool. He sounded like it was a didgeridoo when he did the voice in his throat, Richard. And, Mars is very adventurous and loves to journey. So if you're a Scorpio and you want to take an adventure, a pilgrimage, a journey abroad, go off and find your truth, go visit the Oracle of Delphi. That's the vibe of the 9th house, the house of God. Seek truth through wisdom of the Oracle. What's your purpose? What's the meaning of your life? That's what Mars cares about. February 23rd, direct motion, all the way through until mid-April. And don't forget, he's the Lord of your sign. So he wants you to find that inner truth. What's your purpose? What's the meaning of your life? Are you aligned? Do you need to make changes to find that alignment? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to go to university again or college, or for the first time apply? So there's something about that up there. It's rare. It was like 77 September through to summer of 78. You had this story, and some of you are not old enough to make sense of that, but that was here similarly like this back then. Okay, because Mars will spend like a couple of months here, mid-April to mid-June in your 10th house, and that could be quitting a job, leaving a path behind. So keep it in mind. It's exciting for sure to have this repeating, but tell me what happens. Sagittarius. Sun, moon, and rising sign. Jupiter is your God. He's the Lord of your sign. He belongs to you. He protects you. You're connected. Is going direct. You should go direct. Things that are stalled out since October 10th are going to move forward in your marriage house, in your long-term love house, in your business partners, and how you reach out to your audience and your marketplace. Your 7th house is actively moving forward after stalling out since October 10th. Now, caveat, blessed endings. Jupiter loves to bring blessed new beginnings and blessed endings. If you're in a long-term marriage-like relationship and he has been retrograding since October, the consideration is, does this relationship merit continuation? As he goes direct, the answer will be yes or no. Blessed endings or new beginnings. It can go either way, and I can't tell you which way it will go. You know your life better than me. Now, when Jupiter is in your 7th house, Santa Claus can bring you a new love story. If you're single, looking for love, I would say the direct motion Jupiter is glorious. Otherwise, some of you Sagittarius may have noticed marriage type partners and long-term love partners from the past coming back to you since October 10th, maybe for final closure or renewal. Let me know in the comments how that's worked. You can get a teacher, a guru, or a spiritual guide, or a mentor out of this. So Jupiter could bring you your guru between now and June the 9th. Now, as Mars is going to finally move direct after retrograding here, since December 6th, he's retrograde. Since January 6th, he was retrograde in Cancer. It's about the money you share with another person, business partner or long-term committed love partner, and shared resources or inheritances or bank loans and mortgages, and money that comes through connections to those institutions of money sharing, like lenders, like credit cards and mortgage holders, banks. Mars here wants you to make some change. And you've been thinking about what kind of change to make since October 10th. Certainly, he's very good at divorce settlements and spousal and alimony and dividing the marital assets, especially in a trine to Saturn. And so it's a fair way of trying to divide assets at the ending of a relationship. Is that what's going on? Or are you looking at changes to do with your home, property, land, and real estate, procuring a mortgage, selling a property, changing your home, refinancing a home? Those things are meritable here. They could be happening and they could be good for you. This is going to last until middle of April, about the 18th of April. So keep that in mind. Family secrets can be divulged, and you had no clue about mom and dad. Dad was really a woman, and mom was really a guy. Oh my God! Oh, my parents who adopted me, and they never told me. Oh, family secrets are divulged when Mars cuts and slices through here. Get ready. Let me know what happens. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign, you happen to be going through a Jupiter direct in the work house, and it is in a flow to Pluto in the earnings house. Work, money, earnings, etc. are going to move forward after stalling out since October 10th. Jupiter tried to get it up here, you know what I mean? Tried to get it up here back around the third week of May. And then he was very hopeful he could pull off money and earnings and work stories May 25th through to the 10th of October, and then everything flatlined out. So if you're looking for a job, looking for work, want a promotion, want better money in the work you already do, those stories are going to come back online February 4th and continue to reward you through to June the 9th with lucky breaks with work and money. And in a way you haven't seen in this lifetime because of Pluto. So you could really wealth up through work and livelihood matters, changing your diet for better health, classic here, and changing your food style and stopping to eat or drink or smoke or inhale things that are bad for you in blessed, easy, lucky ways. Jupiter could bring you the purchase of an expensive new pet, probably a big one at that, Pluto trine Jupiter, and or you may make some circumstantial changes in your domicile where you live through rental properties as well. Like you might rent a property, or you might rent out a property, lease out your home, or lease a new home to live in, and luck and opportunity involving those matters are all yours to have and to behold. And yes, you may rent out your home, or you may rent a new home, and those are exciting for you. And that's going to be through to June the 9th. Mars is going direct in their long-term committed love house. Is it time to end, cut, and sever that relationship? Is it your decision, or is it your partner's? What's really happening? Mars can separate you from somebody, literally, like geographically and physically, and that simply may be a case here of separation. And maybe that's all that is. But Mars is also going to be direct, and it's decisions and actions that must be taken February 23rd through until at middle of April in the connection of long-term love and business partnerships and the way you address an audience and marketplace. Now, if you're single and Mars goes direct, you could meet somebody new, and it would be a really lovely energy for you because Uranus in the romance house suggests fast-moving, passionate, exciting new romance. But if you're with someone, it could look like shocking, surprising, and sudden, but harmonious endings. Moving on to the next sign. I am one of you. I'm an Aquarius rising, Aquarius sun, moon, and rising sign. What do we have? Well, first of all, Jupiter, the god of luck, is flowing to us from the 5th house, Dharma. This is a Dharma house. And so a lot of this can allow us to move into a unique expression of our gifts and talents, amplifying a sense of purpose, but also enjoyment and pleasure and fun and prosperity in the search of true meaning and purpose in life. Jupiter, though, moves, first of all, Jupiter entered our 5th house back in May 25th or so, stalled out October 10th, and now is going to boot back up again. This is really good for fertility and pregnancy. This is really good for creativity and procreativity. This is really good for a renewal of sexual energy. This is really good for entrepreneurial and creative artists. Businesses, entrepreneurially and artistic endeavors get a boost. And this boost like goes boom, and you go forward through to June the 9th. This is a money luck house, gambling, gaming, speculating, lottery tickets, casinos, poker games, take your pick, speculative and risky investments as well. And suddenly Jupiter goes direct and can bless you with lucky money stories here, like he did 2012 June to 2013, but now powered up by Pluto. Very different energy. Please go watch the video I've already put out on that. And energetically, the storyline suggests as well a very supreme kind of luck, because with Pluto invested in it from the first house in a whole sign trine, this kind of wealth, Jupiter Pluto, can be quite extraordinary. You might be able to say, oh, I got a little bit more wealth in 2012, 13, June to June. I had a stock take off or something. But, this is a magnitude of something different, an order of magnitudinal difference, right? Exponentially different. Lucky in love. Lucky in entrepreneurship, lucky in money breaks, okay? Creative projects and entrepreneurial business endeavors that may have stalled out since October begin to reboot, and you can go for it. Now, Mars is going to go into direct motion in the work and food and eating, the health house, health and work. So first of all, I want you to consider that Mars being here, right? September, October, and then kind of stalling out, going off to visit Leo for a while, then coming back here again in January. There's something about this part of your sky, and he's been retrograde since December 6th. There's something about how you want to harness Mars's joy. He's in the house of his joy in Hellenistic astrology, in your 6th house. And he wants you to have passion, ardor, momentum, directionality, bold and declarative, yes, I'm going in this direction, around the work you do in the world. And because he does that with a trine this month to Saturn, this is enduring, lasting financial gain through momentum and decisions to do with the work and the way you wish it to go and the direction you wish it to go in. That aside, food style is important. What you eat and what you put in your mouth and what you drink is in your 6th house and in your 2nd house. And he's trining that. So major dietary changes are very much indicated and going forward full speed ahead. Again, through to mid-April, April 18th, so February 23rd to April 18th. Finally, a sudden, unexpected, shocking, surprising, but positive change of home, Uranus, coming up for you. And I'll be doing a whole video on this, so stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about this because it's exquisite when he turns around. I'll have a whole deep dive video coming for you on that one. And Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You are Jupiter ruled, not Neptune. That's modern astrology. You are Jupiter ruled. You can't do Time Lords with Neptune unless you're going to live, 184 years, or 64 years. So no, you are ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is going into direct motion on February 4th. Jupiter has been here since May 25th, 2025, giving you luck, blessings, protection, and opportunity regarding home, domicile, private life, prosperity around real estate, land, and luck. Okay. My Pisces sister sold a home and managed to move into a new home. All very fortunate as Jupiter was moving through there 3rd week of May until October 10th, and he stalled out in a retrograde. Now, the retrograde stall out means deepening the bounty, reassessing, revising what you've already got. So he can go forward with bold confidence on February 4th. So Jupiter down here could bring legacy wealth, inheritance money, but also money that comes to you because prosperity, because you're doing something in the home that brings prosperity. For you guys moving forward, February 4th to June 9th, launch a home-based business, especially if you can cater to international clients, customers, and revenue with Pluto in your 12th house. Otherwise, you could also make some major changes in your home, expand your home. This could look like building, an extra room, an addition, a garden, shed that you want to go recluse to or something. But you have also truth and wisdom and knowledge and deep spiritual attainment through things you do in your home. It's a good time to also get down with quiet home life, domestic life, and deepening spiritual stories, but in forward momentum, February 4th until June 9th. I had a guru living with me when Jupiter was in my 12th house years ago. So, my 4th house. So, it's like, or a spiritual teacher can live with you during this time. Now, next, you're going to find the direct motion Mars in your 5th house. Things that have been stalled out or stuck since maybe really January 6th to do with one of your children can go forward with great gusto. Creative projects, entrepreneurial businesses, and sex and romance. Kind of stalled out during the retrograde in Cancer, January 6th to February 23rd. Now we can move forward with confidence and bold decision-making action, and Mars is flowing to you for that to look good. Decisions you make are reliable, reasonable, and realistic. Saturn flows to Mars. Go for it. Now, if you're single, this could indicate and the onset of a very passionate relationship full of sexual energy. And that would be also very nurturing, because it's very nurturing in Cancer, nurturing, passionate, sexual love. Coming for some Cancers when, February 4th to mid-April. This is reminding you of what you were doing in your love life. And maybe if you have remembering from, September of 77 till about June of 78, similar kinds of vibes in the sky here. And finally, creative projects that you've been thinking about, and yet maybe in October, but now they can really take off because you had to reconsider it during the retrograde, reponder it, rethink it, December 6th to February 23rd. Now, boom, you're going to go forward. And some of these creative projects can be livelihood oriented because of Mars is coming into Leo again. All right, that's what I've got for you. This was a quick and dirty. Don't forget, you have a long video for your sign. Go check it out. I put that out already a week or so ago. That's 30 minutes for your sign. I extended my sale as well. I thought, what the hell, till mid-February. That's the 2025 All Signs Bundle. If you catch the wind of it on my channel, the code for the discount is here. It's just for my followers here. It's your discount code. And otherwise, it goes back to full price mid-February on the 14th, on Valentine's Day, to get 2 hours for your sign, a whole 2 hours, just all about what to look for in the year ahead. So you won't get that 25% off price again. And there's a PDF guidebook and a bunch of other stuff. I got to go. It's sunny out there. It's almost 1 o'clock in Mexico. I'm going into the sun. I have another video to record, but I think I might try to pull that off in the morning before my Uber picks me up. All right. Bye, everybody. Ciao, ciao.